and India is remaining neutral. And as far as like trading goes, they're still trading with Russia. There's a lot of countries that's going to still trade with Russia, even though they're sanctioned. Now, the problem that India is running into is that they're being pressured by the U.S. to pick a side, where Russia is like saying, who do you love? Pretty much. So if you ask me, the bad guys in this situation is NATO. If NATO was to step down, leave them alone, of course, the consequences will be Ukraine will probably end up in Russia's hands. But what they're telling us here in the Western world is if Putin takes Ukraine, then he's going to want Poland. He's going to want Germany. And I'm like, I don't think Putin's wanting all that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
I think Putin's just wanting to be left alone. Now, I lost a couple of friends of mine from Russia today because of my stance on this, which to my surprise, because, Indians and Africans, they usually don't get along. It was just like, hey, let's get the hell out of here, brother. Let's roll,
But that's correct. And I think what's important there, too, is that I was looking at a news channel, and this was talking about the Indian government. And they were stating that for the next 100 days, they're going to use all the resources that India has to extract all the Indian citizens back to India, right? And so some of the videos I've made is, where's the African support, right? You have all of these different airlines. You have all of these different countries in Africa with larger, keyword, larger GDPs than Ukraine. So let's take, for instance, Nigeria. Nigeria's GDP is over $400 billion. Okay. You look at other countries like South Africa, I believe their GDP is over $300 billion. So Africa has the money to extract their students. And some of my my African subscribers have telling me, in my live videos, that the African government doesn't care. So then I pose this question. If I'm in Ukraine and I'm an African immigrant and I'm there for some sort of STEM, I'm there for being an engineer, being a medical doctor, etc. And they say, okay, we're evacuating people to Poland and Romania, right? Now we understand there is some discrimination, there is racism there, but I don't want to go either way with this, but I want you to really think about this. They say, hey, everybody hold up their nationalist card. Everyone hold up their passport. Who is a citizen of Ukraine? Because this is what I said on my channel. I said, if I'm the president of a country, I'm giving military orders to those who are enforcing the law to evacuate every black citizen, because I'm the president, every black citizen prior to anyone else. And I know a lot of people may not agree to that, but just like anyone else, you're going to take care of your own first. And then one of my African subscribers said, why are all those African immigrants are in Ukraine anyway, knowing that is a white supremacist country? Okay, this is what they're stating. Why is that? That's because the money that a lot of those African countries have received, right? They have squandered it away. They had been very, very fraudulent with it. And they always state, if you speak to any African immigrant, at the end of the conversation, they're going to say that the government is corrupt. So should we Black Americans over here care about African immigrants not being allowed to board the train, not be allowed to essentially board the bus to evacuate? Now, the one thing I have to push back against is Poland not allowing those African immigrants into their country. That is clear-cut racism for me. But on the side of the Ukraine, I still know it's racism, but I still have to pose those questions because it's very easy for me to lean one way because I am pro-Black. But at the same time, I say, well, what if I was had an African country and Ukrainian citizens were trying to get out of Ukraine? Would I allow them to get on the planes, the buses and trains first? No, I will allow my own citizens to get on first. This point out a statement. I'm not saying I'm leaning one way or another.